Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to the Mindfulness Daily Practice. Let's get into today's topic. So what we've been doing is, since I've done this move, I've been doing topics that have been present for me, that have been coming up because of this move into this new apartment. And I think we all know that moving can be really stressful. And so as stress has come up for me, my background is mindfulness-based stress reduction. So it's useful for me as a stress reduction teacher to talk about my own stress, so that we can, so that I can share what kind of difficulties I've had with stress, especially around this move, and then hopefully we can all have some learnings based on that and what can be done. So we're transitioning now. Today's the last day that we're talking about this, and we're going to transition from this into self-compassion. And so what these last few days have really been about has been about self-care. Self-care has been kind of the primary topic in these last few days. And so you can't fill up someone else's glass if your glass is empty. So it's important, and it's very important to take care of yourself, especially in times when you're stressed. And I think one of our most of us in our stressful situations, we think, okay, the way to deal with my stressful situation is to do more. If I can do more, the more that I can work on all of these other things that are around me, all of these problems, the more that I can do, the more that these problems will go away. And getting rid of all of this external issues is going to fix me internally. And so if I just continue to give, and continuously give, then eventually it's going to be enough. And when I get to that stage that it's finally enough, then I can rest. And I think this is one of the issues that and really the core of today's topic. What is enough? When is enough? And do I really need to continuously do to make my stress go away? Or is there some kind of management of my stress that I can perform during these stressful times? And what is it that's urgent? What feels urgent? Why does something urgent feel so urgent? Is it really, really important that this get done today? I think of my to-do list. Is it important for? Here's one that I've used several times as an example. Do I need to wash my car today? What's the difference between washing my car today and tomorrow? And as I say this, procrastination comes to mind. This is not an excuse for procrastination. It doesn't mean that we should put things off without any good reason. It's, again, really what all of this boils down to, and I feel like I've said this so many times in the last week, is self-knowledge. So really knowing yourself. The more we do mindfulness practice, mindfulness is this exploration in self. The more we learn about ourselves, the more we start to see our own methods, our own paths, our own behaviors, our own wants and needs. And we start to see, when are those moments when I'm starting to break down? When are those moments when the stress is starting to overwhelm me? And when those signs show up, what do I do? Do I pay attention to those signs? Do I let go of some of my doing and spend a little bit more time in being? Or do I continue to push through? Okay, it's only this week I'm going to do it. Only this month. This is just the tough month. I've got to push through this month. And then what happens? What kind of you is showing up? It's as we continue to push through, we may be harming ourselves. And when we're harming ourselves, of course, we're not going to be at our best. As our cup is empty, we're not going to be able to pour our cup into someone else's. The ability to be compassionate starts to deteriorate as we've not been able to focus on self-care and compassion towards self. So you'll find it's really easy to get snappy and snippy to the people around us when we haven't spent our time to take care of ourselves. And what does taking care of self look like? Well, we've discussed that a little bit in the last week. One of the real keys is meditation, and daily meditation, at least for me, is something that I find is a real key factor to stress management. And I think what's really interesting about my own meditation is that I find that when I do the meditation, let's say 15 minutes, right? So I come here, I meditate for 15 minutes, and my mind's wandering the whole time. 15 minutes is up, and I go, wow, what a waste of time. I can't believe it. My mind was all over the place. And I don't feel any different. Why am I not any different? A meditation's supposed to relieve my stress, oh, okay. And then, an hour later, 2 hours later, later in the day, maybe even the next day, I start to go, oh, now I see the benefit the practice is having. So I think those of us that want to have instant results are going to be disappointed, because this really isn't how the practice works. Right after you go to the gym, do you feel stronger immediately? In fact, maybe you feel weaker immediately. Maybe you realize afterwards, wow, my muscles are so sore. It's going to be so much harder for me to lift this thing because I'm sore today, right? Mindfulness practice is no different than this, right? It can be exhausting to do mindfulness practice. But this is really, really key for my self-care. It's the reason that I'm here every day is to share this practice with you, to share the benefit that I've gotten out of this, especially when it comes to stress. So how much is enough? How much doing is enough? How much meditation is enough? This is something that we can only learn through experience and practice. So before we get into our meditation today, I'd just like to read this poem by David Whyte. The name of the poem is Enough. These few words are enough. If not these words, this breath. If not this breath, this sitting here. This opening to the life we have refused again and again until now. Until now. All right, welcome to our practice, everyone. So today's practice is going to be a sitting meditation. So sitting, focusing on breath as best we can. Sitting still, letting go of all of our doing, including movement of the body. And just resting and being here now, being who you are, whoever you are right now in this moment. So get comfortable, get into your meditation posture, whatever that looks like for you. Comfortable, relaxed, yet alert, sitting up straight and tall, determined, remembering your intention. Why are you here? What brings you to your practice? What do you hope to get, to attain? And then letting go of those thoughts. If you like, allowing your eyes to close. If you'd rather not, having a soft gaze downwards. And so let's take a few deep breaths together to intentionally help to relax the body. So after your next exhale, let's inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'll let your breath return to its natural pace. Notice the face. You find any tension in your face, in your eyebrows, in the temples, in the area of the eyes. What about the cheeks, the jaw? If you become aware of any tension, through that awareness, can you allow your face to relax? Your shoulders, your lower back, and now allowing attention to move to the seat, where it is that you're sitting, the sensations in sitting, feeling of the buttocks against the cushion, the legs, the feet, whatever's being touched. So for me, with no backrest, the only thing I feel touching my body when it comes to that pressure created by gravity is at the buttocks, at the legs, feeling the supporting surface pushing back. So tuning into all of the details here of the physical sensation of sitting, the physical sensation of being supported. And when you're ready, letting go of awareness of the buttocks, of the legs, of the lower back, of the shoulders, of the face, letting go of all of it as we focus our attention on the abdomen. Feeling the abdomen expand as you breathe in, contract as you breathe out. Expansion followed by contraction, followed by expansion, followed by contraction, followed by expansion, followed by contraction as the process of breathing continues naturally all by itself without our intervention. Can we keep our attention here at these physical sensations? The stretching of the skin, the gentle brushing of the clothing against the skin as our body ever so slightly changes shape as we breathe. Holding attention here as best we can. And where is the mind now? Are you still focused on the sensation at the belly, or has your mind wandered to something else? Remembering, if it's wandered, this is a normal part of our meditation process. As best we can, letting go of whatever it is that distracted us and fully refocusing the attention on all of the details of breathing, holding our entire attention there at the abdomen, feeling the expansion and contraction, not letting a single breath pass by without awareness of it. You're doing great. Keep it up. Keep the attention focused at the belly. Less than 5 minutes to go. There is a great deal of power in focusing our attention in the present. In being, simply being. Sitting here being, this is enough. your attention has wandered, gently bringing it back to the abdomen. Observing again the expansion and contraction as it happens over and over again, holding the attention here. Not letting a single breath go by unnoticed. Now the time has come for us to draw our practice to its close. And I'll close practice with 3 rings of the bell. So maybe take a moment to congratulate yourself for having made it through your practice today. And maybe also set some intention to continue practicing, continue caring for yourself in this way. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for taking this time to take care of yourself. And thanks for being here with me and with everybody else here today. Go ahead and have a look through the chat. Okay, Rachel shares lots of thoughts, dreams, all over the place. Voice kept bringing me back. Thanks, Rachel. I hope the apartment is it is bigger. It's certainly bigger than the temporary apartment we were in. That's another stress, right? I talk about the stress of moving, but you know what's interesting too about all the other daily stresses. It's just like, the moving was just something to put on top of all of the other daily stresses. So, my baby is 6 months old now. There's a lot of stress around that, and then people visiting and just living life, a lot of little things. So we add on the move on top of it, and I guess that's the question, right? How much is enough? How much effort is enough? How much meditation practice is enough? And so it's probably good for me to Laura says full catastrophe living, totally. So for those of you who don't know, that's the name of John Kabat-Zinn's book about mindfulness called Full Catastrophe Living. Anyway, all of this talk about enough. Let me read this poem one more time. Enough by David Whyte. These few words are enough. If not these words, this breath. If not this breath, this sitting here. This opening to life. We have refused again and again until now. Until now. The serenity now is back. Thank you, John. Glad this talk was helpful. Yeah. I think we've done Serenity Now a few times here. It's quite funny. Well, it's funny because it's true. I think that a lot of us, this is what we hope out of our practice, right? If I just okay, all right, I'm just gonna meditate through this. It's gonna work. Unfortunately, it's not necessarily how it works. So, thank you, Barbara. I'm grateful for you also. Thank you for being here in this practice. Thanks everybody for being here, whether you are active in the chat or you're just here listening and follow along. You are an important part of this practice, and it's my great pleasure to have everybody here, and hopefully you also can use this to help manage your stress. Okay, the recordings are available on YouTube on Ryan's Daily Mindfulness Practice. So if you missed anything today, or you want to go back and see something from earlier this week, all of that's there. You can check it out. And we will be back. So enough. Knowing what's enough. Your glass. Filling up your glass so that once it's overflowing, you can fill it others' glasses too. This is a very important first step, and this self-knowledge is kind of the first step for us as we start to take care of ourselves. And so as we begin to walk into this week's topic, which is compassion. So we talked a little bit about a week and a half ago about self-compassion. We'll continue the topic of self-compassion tomorrow, and then begin to talk about how compassion starts to naturally move outwards, away from myself and towards others as we get more and more, as we start filling our cup. As you fill your cup and it starts to overflow, it's impossible not to get others wet and get compassion to everybody else. Okay, I'll see you then. Do be well, everybody. And as we finish up here today, let's close our practice with some well wishes. Well wishes first to ourselves, and then well wishes to each other and to everybody on this planet. May I be happy and peaceful. May all of you watching, listening, wherever you are, I wish you all happiness and peace. May all life on earth, beyond earth, those in the future who have not yet been born, I wish happiness and peace to everyone. All right, thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for your sharing, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.